Hello Scorpios, what is up? Welcome to FlavoredVivid. For those of you guys that are new here, my name is Carissa. The way that I do my readings is intuitively. I like to start off in your etheric energy, ground it down to the physical, some general messages. I pull a spread on your finances and career, I pull a spread on your love life, and then I close out with spirit guide messages. So, with that mouthful said, Scorpios, you guys are rich in initiations. Your wealth is your spirituality. Every trial, every transformation, I had a download for you guys. I literally texted it to myself on my work phone. Every trial, every transformation has layered your spirit in wisdom and power. Your true wealth is not material, it's spiritual. You've earned it through shadow work, surrender, and sacred devotion. Still, people often project their own insecurities onto you, crafting a false narrative of who they think that you are. They mistake your confidence for arrogance, your radiance for ego, and your presence for pretense, never realizing that your strength was forged in silence, in solitude, and in service. They only see the surface, not the sacrifices. You walk with unseen ancestors, guided by forces most dare not to even acknowledge. And still, you remain humble, not in a shrinking type of way, but in honoring the divine within you and around you. Scorpio, this really matches what you're getting. First of all, Karmic justice. Can we start with the good stuff? Yes, please. Karmic justice. Balance and restoration is coming. Things are being restored back to normal. However, there is a need for you to learn how to balance on a tightrope of boundaries, okay? Because you're gonna have them pushed in different types of ways going forward, where it's almost like threading the line of being your authentic self, but others not understanding that, as is talked about in here. You have to understand that they're coming from a place of developing their own perceptions based on their own limitations and their own consciousness. It has nothing to do with you. So, for example, let's say that people think that, oh, you're confident or you're this, or, they mistake these things as ego or as you not being humble, but in all reality, you've come a far way here. You have earned where you are at, and rightfully so, through these initiations, through your spiritual wealth. But people just see you, and because you don't look like what you've gone through, they feel it's necessary to project on you. You're getting justice in that regard here. I feel like people are going to start seeing you for who you are, rather than the projections or the narrative that they created of you to justify where they are. Rather than the projections and the narrative that they created of you to justify where they are, okay? So karmic justice, that came out. You guys also got divine abundance and gratitude, okay? So you were born to align with love's will, follow the Tao, and serve something beyond the ego. Learn to be abundance, not chase it. Scorpios, at this point in time, you have to understand that chasing abundance is chasing validation. Validating, you cannot be measured. And a lot of you guys have been in this period here where it's like, I'm measuring my success based on a number in a bank account or anything of that sort, right? Based on the number of people who like what I say, who follow me, who support me, whatever it may be, in whatever format that shows up as, right? And Spirit's asking you to stop chasing and start aligning to your authenticity, which you have been, yes, but at the same time, you've also been battling this, and it's been like this undercurrent for you, okay? And anchor into gratitude. It says, fill me with gratitude for all you give. May I be a vehicle for you wherever I go. So being a vehicle of gratitude and honoring yourself and others and where they are at. I made a post a few days ago talking about my throat chakra and how when I look back at my videos on YouTube, my voice was really raspy and everything else, and I was far more liked and supported than I am now, and I recognize that. But I also was very inauthentic back then compared to now, whereas my voice is very clear, it's more high pitched, and I'm more authentic than I was. I don't really care about being validated because it doesn't matter. I validate myself and I finally love myself. And there was this comment and she said, yeah, but it's very lonely once you get there. And I had to gently remind this person that you know, it's a thin line between honoring your own path and where you're at, but also recognizing that other people are on their own journeys and they just don't have the consciousness to meet you where you're at, and that's okay. But that doesn't mean that, you know, you're more high vibrational or more enlightened or you're more elite than they are or anything like that, even though they may project that onto you, but that's because they see you that way. All right, not vice versa. You're struggling because you're like, I just want to be loved for who I am. I'm finally standing my authenticity, and it's still not good enough. And these individuals, the thing is they don't know themselves, so they're going to make you question who you are. They're going to try to make you prove who you are because they don't know who the fuck they are. Don't do that. Okay, so that's where it's like anchoring in gratitude for where you are at, and how far you have come on your own journey, rather than trying to meet people where they're at or fit into, you know, or receive their like validation for who you are, who you say you are, and everything else. Let your energy speak for you during this time. You also got threads of light. You are a weaver of reality. And then we have cosmic gifts are coming in for you here. So there's cosmic gifts coming in. You have the Ace of Cups, nice, the Sun card. I see that you may be a little bit ungrounded, or there could be a Taurus energy around you that's a little bit ungrounded if this isn't you. But there's a bit of ungrounding here. It could just be, you know, don't let people dim your shine in your heart chakra based on their ungroundedness, based on their lack of being intact with reality and in the 3D. You also have the Page of Cups and the King of Swords. This is where it's like your emotional intelligence is really gonna soar during this time. I definitely see you. Okay, sorry, sometimes when I get a call, it like blacks out on my screen. I don't know why it does that, but it just does. Whatever. I was getting a call. Yeah, okay, I can see that here now. Not a big deal. Anyways, so your emotional intelligence is going to soar. I definitely feel like you have some sort of creative ideas or pursuits, and you're definitely going to not just initiate them and follow through with them, but execute them with precision is what I'm hearing. You're going to be executing these pursuits with precision, okay? Hawks can be significant, as he does have a hawk on his arm there, so you could be seeing that. Or shells could be significant during this time here, the conch shell. Okay, so you're like hearing some sort of call. Yeah, I'm literally getting these boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. Anyways, but there's something here that you're hitting the mark on. You're hitting the mark on. You could be hunting. I don't know what hunting season is. I don't hunt. I'm not necessarily like against it, especially if you're using it for food, not sport. But yeah. Anyways, in regards to your finances and career, you got fast changes that are coming in here. Rabbits could be significant. Rabbits represent fertility. You could be leaving a job suddenly or getting a brand new job very soon. Your work could change dramatically in a short time. Just go with the flow of what's being given to you, okay? You're November Scorpio, love it. In regards to your love life, you do have date night here. It says get ready to be wined and dined, but there's also caution behind it. So Scorpios, I kind of feel like you're in a place right now where you're in like this observation stage. If you are dating somebody, you're kind of observing them, right? You're observing them, their behaviors, their beliefs, etc. I'm hearing prying a little bit. Read between the lines is what Spirit just said, okay? All right, let's go ahead and shuffle live. Putting my phone over there. Messages, please, for Scorpios. Right action, okay? Messages, please, for Scorpios during this time. Messages for Scorpios during this time, please. Thank you. Love. Love is your message here, and expansiveness is the overall. This love card says divine source is the idea that No person, place, or thing is your salvation, only love itself. And again, that's how you guys are so rich. You've been through so many initiations, right? You've been through so many experiences, and now your spirituality has become your wealth. Your faith has become your wealth. You operating from your heart chakra, remaining pure and true to who you are, has become your wealth. And a lot of people can't afford that type of luxury. They don't have that opportunity like you do. So there is power in where you are at. And then the expansiveness says eternity is far more creative than the rigid, constrained, and exhausted ego. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in and see what general messages we have. You cannot force your timeline onto those around you. Exactly, that's what we were talking about here. They are on their own path, experiencing and or having their own experiences. All right, and I know it can feel isolating or lonely, and we're often misunderstood. And that, you can go to my community board and read my extremely long post, or if you follow me on Threads, I've been posting it like randomly. But yes, anyways, I've been talking about how all of this is going to change over the course of the next 18 years with Pluto being in Aquarius. Just know that you are ahead of the curve. And yeah, so just, instead of looking at it like you're alone, I want you to, approach those deep feelings with curiosity and ask yourself why your authenticity feels lonely. And without trying to justify or anything, just like listening to what your that wounding pattern has to say and sitting with it, because you're in the next phase of your initiation and you're on a different stage, and that's okay. Messages, please. We have Miracle Worker. Very nice. Scorpio, you have aesthetic upgrades. All right. And you have, if I pick up a rock and throw it, what does that make the rock? A rock. It's a trick question, okay? People rejecting your energy does not take away from you. It only allows you to exist without them and your authenticity. Your overall energy is most disorders are disorders of resistance, not of pain. Resistance of reality is what turns pain into suffering. Resistance to the darkness, okay? So that's your overall energy. Let's go ahead and see what this is about. So Miracle Worker, right away you have the Hierophant showing up here, your devotion, okay, you yourself, Queen of Wands, your talents, your gifts, your confidence is a Miracle Worker. My nose is itching. You could be receiving a lot of downloads during this time as well, okay? Temperance here, interesting. Messages, please, for Miracle Worker for Scorpio, the Scorpio collective that's going to be watching this video. Thank you. Four of Wands. Okay, very interesting. It doesn't matter about the gossip, the slander, the lies, people's perceptions of you, their envy, their jealousy, whatever it may be, right? Spirit's asking you to ignore this here. It's like by feeding into it, it actually delays and impedes on your progress and your celebration. You are a Miracle Worker just by being your authentic self, by going through these initiations, and by operating from your heart chakra. The Four of Wands is the fourth chakra, and the fourth chakra is our heart chakra, okay? And then again, you have the Ace of Cups originally, and you have love. So there's a lot here about your heart chakra during this time. Being grounded into your heart center and being confident in who you are. There's going to be a lot to celebrate, and you should be celebrating you, regardless of what other individuals may say about you. Queen of Swords, I feel like you're very insightful, you're very discerning, and as you can see, like, she's got this knife in her hand, right? This is not a typical, like, Rider-Waite type of deck, but I do love this deck. But this, the thing about the Queen of Swords is, like, she's not cold or calculated. She's discerning. And in the upright, you have a very strong discernment. You're being viewed as somebody who has very unfuckwithable boundaries, okay? People, you're a take no ish type of person, and that is a good place to be, but that intimidates people who do take ish, okay? That intimidates those that have not yet binded themselves or found sovereignty in the same way that you have, okay? You're able to see things in a much closer way than other people. So for some of you guys, you could work in like body or metaphysical sciences, physical, you could work in the sciences or human. You could be discovering something as well, okay? Somebody could have breast cancer, or there's something here about cancer. You could be discovering something about cancer. Maybe you work in that field. This is also you looking at your health, okay? Miracle worker. I feel, especially with miracle worker and aesthetic upgrades, there's something here about you paying closer attention to your health. You could be going to a doctor, or perhaps you are a nurse, or you're a doctor, you're looking into something. You could be studying to be a nurse, a scientist, a doctor, okay? But there's something here about like paying attention to your health, mentally, physically, and emotionally here. Some of you guys could be changing up certain diets, certain routines. You could be reading or researching, like studying something new as well. And whatever you're studying, it's going to work miracles on you. Okay, some of you guys are going to be graduating with like a specific degree or certification in something, or it's like the information that you gather is worthy of some sort of certification or diploma. Tell me about aesthetic upgrades for Scorpios. Thank you. We've got the Moon card in the reverse and the Justice in the upright. Okay, interesting. So these aesthetic upgrades are no longer going to be hidden. They're going to be seen. It's going to be obvious, you know, that you've been putting a lot of work into yourself here. With the Justice card, that's Libra energy, 7th house, publicly. So there's going to be some sort of like public, people are going to see that you've changed. I don't know if you're working, you could be going through like a glow up right now. You could be working on your body, on your health, on your skin. There's something about like your body, your health. Some of you guys could study human design, or there might be something here about human design as well. You could be eating specifically like according to design for your body. So for example, like I mentioned this, I don't know, probably like 8 months ago or something like that. But I have a lot of different allergies and stuff. I didn't know that I had these allergies, okay? Well, I did. I've known since I was a kid, but I didn't know that they were in certain foods and certain products. And I always wondered why I would like bloat basically every single day. And I was super uncomfortable all the freaking time. I got with a dietitian. Turns out it's in half of the food that I was eating. So I had to specifically change that, and ever since then, it's helped tremendously. It's helped with the bloating in my face. It's helped with everything in my life, and I'm so grateful for that. I can't believe it took that long to figure that out, though. I thought it was only medications, and so every time I went to a doctor and they're like, hey, are you allergic to any medication? I would tell them, it's not just in medications, it's a preservative that's in a lot of foods. So I can't eat processed foods. I can't eat frozen french fries that you buy from Costco. I can't do any of those things. So In-N-Out's my best friend, but because they don't do that. But anyways, all jokes aside here, it's like this energy of there's a glow up here, but it's coming from the inside out, okay? The Moon card in the reverse, and it's becoming very evident or apparent here. There could be something, and it's also like this globe is owed to you, karmic justice. Someone here could be signing some sort of contract. I feel like this is very, not for like a lot of you, but hey, good timing though. It's a really good time between like June, July to get any cosmetic work done if you are getting cosmetic work, okay? So this might be a message for like one person, I don't know. But if you're getting any cosmetic work done, that is like the best time astrologically to get it done this year, for safety reasons and everything else. So any like Botox, fillers, maybe you're gonna get it like a mommy makeover, or I don't know, maybe there's like a guy out there extending his kneecaps. I don't know. Okay, like whatever it is, if it's aesthetic, there's something here about that, and there's a lot of people that are gonna see it. You could be signing a contract with the doctors. You know how you have to like sign that paperwork? I am seeing that as well. So somebody could be signing some sort of paperwork, signing a contract here, you know, one of the hippo contracts and stuff like that as well, okay? Messages. If I pick up a rock and I throw it, what does that make the rock? A rock. People rejecting your energy does not take away from you. It only allows you to exist without them in your authenticity. 7 of Swords. Again, this comes from a place of escapism. People need a scapegoat, and baby, you are perfect because you're way too confident in yourself, because you're way too sure of your faith. You're way too sure of the divine, and they don't like that because they still question who they are. They still question themselves. It's much easier to tear something down outside of themselves than it is to actually take accountability and do the inner shadow work. They hate you, or not, they don't like you, and they reject your energy because you show them exactly what they could be if they did the inner work. They don't want to do it. They want to escape it. Here, the Seven of Swords is a liar. It's a thief, right? Okay, they try to get away with something. They're trying to get away with like projecting onto you because they feel lesser than about themselves. Most disorders are disorders of resistance, not of pain. Resistance of reality is what turns pain into suffering. Resistance to their darkness. These individuals have a resistance to the darkness, okay, to their own darkness within them. They don't want to feel the pain, and it's not, they have resistance to that pain, okay? They have resistance to it. They don't want to feel it. Tell me about this. Thank you. That was quick. 5 of coins in the reverse. They're completely avoidant. They're completely avoidant of this energy here, the Sun card, and they're operating in their ego, you know? It's blatantly obvious to you that their shadow has gone unintegrated, right? Okay, this is an unintegrated shadow. It's blatantly obvious to you. Perhaps it's obvious to a lot of other individuals who have the wealth of initiation and spirituality, but to them it's not obvious, and they think that they are getting away with it. So remember and honor where you are at versus where they are at, okay? 10 of Cups in the reverse. These individuals are out here breaking generational patterns and curses that, you know, yes, they're unfair, but at the same time, you know, it's their responsibility, and it's not your responsibility to heal them. If they want to avoid them, that's okay, you know? Like, for example, if an individual grew up and their mother or their father is very gossipy, right? And they are talking a lot here. They're constantly criticizing every single person. Oh, that girl's hair looks like that. That girl's that. That individual is probably going to grow up with like a criticism wound because that they watched how much. So they constantly go out into the world and feel like they're consistently being perceived. That's because that's what they observed growing up, okay? Or even worse, if their mother or father or cousin or auntie, whoever raised them, right, had consistently criticized them, but then nothing you ever do is good enough, that wasn't done right, etc. That's another way that that can show up. But anyways, these people, they want to resist the pain, and you know, that's not something to personalize here. That is your superpower, that you can face your pain, that you can face your shadow. And again, it does not take away from you at all, okay? So they don't like that you don't want their approval, but their approval would require you to abandon your purpose. You are aligned and they are not. Very straightforward message today. You are aligned, Scorpio. Others are not. So again, there is a need to really anchor into love. Somebody thinks that their circumstances are your fault, blame shifting. And then these are ego dystonic individuals that you're dealing with, okay? Ego dystonic individuals are people who are inconsistent with their own self-concept. Everything that they strive to be, the opposite of, they unconsciously embody, okay? So for example, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm a girl's girl, right? And then they are the biggest woman hater out there, and they have very indoctrinated, colonialized beliefs and structures that are still intact. For example, one that a lot of people, me, white privilege, okay, right? We call it a master bedroom still? No. It's called a master bedroom because it's racist, okay? We don't call it the master bedroom anymore. However, there's still a lot of people that go around unconsciously program and operating in those programs, okay? You know, and you can't, it's like we can't be mad at them for where they're at. We could try to help or say something here, but most of the time they're not going to be ready to hear what you have to say, okay? So it's that type of energy, all right? Yeah, the bigger you make it, the easier it is for people to project onto you, because people don't see you as human. They try to devalue you to idealize themselves. Scorpio, let's go ahead and move on. That was a very, very clear message there. Let's get into your finances and career during this time. What are Scorpios up to? What do they need to know this week? Messages, please, for Scorpios. Thank you. Influence. Okay. Offerings and protection came out together as one. Give me one more card. Let's go with one more card. Thank you. They said two more. Spirit's like, you're on my time, not yours. Okay, very interesting. Overall energy, we have short-term, explosive. Something's going to explode very quickly. You could be seeing fireworks, or there could be a celebration going on. All right, you are being protected from deceit and from situations that no longer serve you. Lie low for a little while and you'll be shown the truth. So again, this is about being in observer mode this week, kind of just watching. You have a strong influence here. Use your influence for change. You may do public speaking, social videos, or interviews. Your voice and your opinions are important. It's important to spread your seed all over them, okay? Right in their face. Hit them in the eyeball. Let them use your seed as hair glue. Okay. Offerings. You will be offered a new position or an investment opportunity. Think about it and research it carefully before you accept it. Expense tracking also came up. Track your expenses diligently. Use apps or spreadsheets. Review your spending habits and identify areas where you can save money. And then we have freedom. You need to have more flexibility with your schedule and income. Being self-employed is ideal. Time off will help you get clear. So Scorpios, I feel like a lot of you guys are trying to work to freedom, which is very much in alignment with the Pluto and Scorpio energy. A lot of people, we don't want fame. I don't fucking care for fame. I want a silent life. I built it in silence. I want a silent life. I want a peaceful life. I just want to be able to pay my bills, mind my own business, and cook good food, okay? I bought a pasta maker, old school one that I can crank in it. I cannot wait to make fresh pasta, okay? Because the Italian in me, I've been like hand rolling it and rolling up the dough and then slicing it. No, we upgraded. I finally spent $50 on myself and I upgraded to the one that like goes onto the table, old school style, like the one that my Nona had. So excited. Okay, why am I telling you guys that? I'm sorry. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. I've got ADHD if you can't tell. Anyways, I'm so excited. I'm gonna infuse that shit with basil, everything. I can't wait to have 3-ingredient pasta instead of all of that other crap that I'm not even allowed to eat because it has things in it that I'm allergic to. So I guess it's for the better. Plus, it's way cheaper to make it yourself. All right. I don't know, maybe somebody needed to hear that. Maybe you're changing your diet. You'd be spending money on that. Ways to find more freedom. Like for me, that's freeing. That's very freeing. The fact that I can still eat what I like, I just have to put a little time more and energy, which means I also have to free up some area in my life to make that from scratch, to be able to do that stuff, right? So everything has to become more intentional. How can you free up space to be more intentional? I think there's never a reason why I'm just like blabbing, right? Everything is aligned. And I feel like that was for a reason, like shared for a reason. Message about protection. Thank you. Your victory is protected. Your victory is protected, okay? You are very protected and very aligned during this time. You have a lot of success coming in. Again, a lot of karmic justice coming in. And I feel like it's because of your boundaries for some of you guys. Tell me about offerings. Tell me about this new job that Scorpios could be getting. 5 of Cups in reverse. Baby, you were feeling rejected over something, and that's just no more. It was never rejection. It was always divine protection and redirection, and that's what I see coming in for you. Knight of Cups, yeah. I feel like you're going to be very excited and passionate about what's coming in for you as well. Like, this is something that you're going to genuinely like. Tell me about influence. All right. Those who want to influence. Knight of Swords in the reverse. 7 of Swords in the upright, and the Knight of Coins. There's a lot of people talking about you. Use it. Use it. Come on, baby. Are you not an alchemist? You've been there, done that. Baby, you are rich in initiations. You're rich in spiritual wealth. You should know how to alchemize that shit into your money. Okay? For example, you know, I have no problem making really polarizing posts, and that's why they continuously go viral on different platforms. Okay? Why though? Because it triggers people. That's a good thing. I take so much, like, I love that I'm confident enough to do that. Okay, it's not polarizing in a sense of whatever. It's polarizing in a sense of being like, with the people that are like, oh, I don't see color. Like, okay, that's racist. You know what I mean? And the next thing you know, my comments going viral here. That's not okay. You know, and I don't know why I'm bringing up race so much. I don't know why. I don't know. If you're racist, though, get the fuck off my channel. Nobody likes you. All right. Six of Cups. You are meant to use this energy. Talk about your past. Talk about your experiences here. There's something about, like, no matter what you use in your voice, like, the things that the people don't say, they don't have weight, is what I'm hearing here. With the Knight of Aura Colors, Brave. Yeah. No. When people are just like, I don't see color as, like, a form of spiritual bypassing, like, are you dumb? Nobody's denying color, you fucking idiot. Come on. Anyways, yeah, so Knight of Pentacles, it's like no matter what, even with people like laughing at you, talking about you, using you as a scapegoat, etc., you're just diligently working. Okay, you're just sharing your voice. And I feel like that bothers and intimidates people even more. Yeah, the Death card, because you're in your power. And it's like you are creating a change, you are transforming things, and they're words that they say, the things that they laugh about, the group chats that you're in. I just heard the group chats that you're in. Oh my god, they should add you. You would annihilate those motherfuckers. You would do so good. I hope that if anybody has a group chat about me, like, let me in. Let me in. I would love to be there. I would love to be there, please. We can talk shit about me together. I promise it'll only be slightly humbling. For you, not me. Okay, for me, I'll be really excited. You know, I'll have a lot of fun with it. Like, you have no idea. No idea. Okay, so give me one more card on that. The Sun card. Yeah, they hate your light. They literally hate your light here. You know, again, it's that same energy that I wrote. Can I join? I promise to be nice. I don't even promise to be nice, but I promise to be honest. And my honesty might sting a little, but that's based on how you're choosing to perceive it, right? But anyways, they mistake your confidence for arrogance, your radiance for ego, and your presence for pretense, never realizing that your strength was forged in silence, in solitude, and in service. They only see the surface, okay, not the sacrifices. You walk with unseen ancestors, guided by forces that most dare not to even acknowledge. And that's the thing, is like they try to manipulate your light, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It always ends up with them being more humbled, even though they humble or trying to humble you. Promise to be authentic. Exactly. Like, I promise you, let me in that group chat, okay? I always think it's funny when I see like a post of mine, like a picture of me and my wife will be like shared privately, and I'm just like, y'all, let us into the group chat. Let us in. You know for a fact we'd roast the shit out of you guys. Shut the fuck up. Let us in. Don't keep this private. Come on. Tell me about expense tracking. Okay, 7 of Wands in the reverse. Babies, let's watch our spending a little bit for whoever needs to hear that, okay? Yep, the Queen of Cups. I feel like there could have been just a little bit of emotional spending. What are we spending our money on? Is it a requirement? Is it a, you know, or a want, right? Like, make sure you're just making responsible things. I'm not going to lecture you on that. It's very evident, straightforward. Yeah, 9 of Swords here. Just if you've been emotional spending, okay, do a little window shopping. Do a little window shopping. One thing that I really learned to do is, like, I will put things in carts, and if I just can't stop thinking about it a few days later, a week later, whatever, then I'll go back for it. But if I forget about it, I never really wanted it in the first place. I just am impulsive because I have ADHD, and dopamine, hello, is so exciting. But it's not always good for me, okay? It's not good for me. And so I have to, like, train myself and be more structured and disciplined within my habits, okay? So tell me about freedom. Needing to have more flexibility. Y'all are sitting around thinking too much in your heads. 4 Wands. How am I going to pay rent? How am I going to pay the mortgage? How am I going to pay the car note? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? You're a little bit in your head. Okay, 3 of Swords. Yeah, listen, the economy is going to crap. I get it. I do. I totally understand. And again, that's where the love thing comes in, where it's like, stop chasing money, right? And like align yourself to that money. If you know that you're going to always be provided for. So for me, I will say things like, I am always provided for, my bills are always paid. I don't really give a shit to have a bunch of luxurious trips and private jets and a Ferrari. Okay, dopamine spending is a hell of a drug. Yes, Tanya, you feel me. It's so bad. It's so bad. Oh my gosh. It's even worse at a new restaurant because it's like I want one of everything. I'm like, girl dinner, but I order half the menu and then I take one bite of everything. It's horrible. It's so dumb. So I have to, what I do now for that though is I pre-plan. I'll look at the menu like online. And then I will select one item and one appetizer that maybe I really want or want to try, and then I make sure that my wife chooses something that I also want to try. So it works though because we both have the same like flavor palette. Three of Swords though, okay, so and then we have King of Coins and the Page of Coins. So I feel like you're going to be finding new opportunities to create the freedom in your life. I feel like for some of you guys, you've been very stressed out. You could be trying to like overwork yourself, burnout, I'm hearing as well. Like, don't burn yourself out. You know, there's a difference between being productive and busy, okay? And the freedom energy is talking about like productivity, not busyness, getting things done, being productive, and, you know, prioritizing what's necessary and then putting things on the back burner that are not necessary so that your mental health is well, okay? Tell me about short term. Two of Cups, Six of Wands, and the Five of Cups in the reverse. Okay, this is really random. I don't know if you are, this sounds like pretentious for me to say, because I highly doubt that I have anybody actually like in the public eye, maybe famous, watching me. Okay, I'm not one of those channels. I don't put myself out there like a lot of people do. But if you're like famous, maybe you're like an influencer or something like that, okay? Make sure that you're planning for your future. All right. Take all the opportunities that you have now, but know that they're not going to last forever. Okay. Yeah. I don't really know what that means. They said you're not Adam Sandler. I don't really know what that means, but it's just like you're meant to kind of take opportunities and build them. So for example, let's say that you are a stripper, a sex worker, whatever it may be, okay? Nobody's judging. I don't care what you do. Baby, live your best life. But take that money and plan for the future, okay? Like, you're not going to be able to be 75 years old and doing that. I don't know. Maybe you are. Who am I, right? I don't want to put limitations on you. But it's just something to consider, and that's for someone out there. Okay, you need to know that. For someone there, also, you have a business partner where it's like you and your business partner are really successful right now, but that's not going to last either. So kind of like plan like more independence or pulling away from something, planning for something that lasts, you know? Yeah, career transition. Yeah, some of you guys are going to be going into like a career transition. We have moving up here, and again, planning for the future. So navigate career transitions smoothly. Identify your transferable skills, update your resume, and network to explore new opportunities. And then we have movement. Some of you guys could be moving for work. You could be in a traveling type of job, but you'll make good progress now, and you'll be able to overcome any obstacles in your path. Big leaps forward are possible. So love that for you. All right, love life messages, please, for the Scorpios here. What do they need to know? Messages for Scorpios. Most important messages in regards to the matters of their heart, love life. Move on. Oh boy. Are you guys dealing with another water sign? If so, move the fuck on. This Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, not for you, baby. They're trying to retrograde back into your life right now. Okay, patience here. And cycles. Yeah, no, don't do it. All right. Pay me like I was. I love it. Also, pinky toe. It's not beyond me, okay? That's not beyond me. You want some of my bathwater? Like, where's a pay pig? I have a very verbally abusive mouth, so I'm more than happy to like degrade you or whatever for some money. Okay, not really, but well, no, really, I probably would. We joke about it all the time. All right. Anyways, though, cycles here. There's a karmic cycle here, between you and another person. Okay, this could be another water sign like yourself, a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces here. Possibly an Aries. The Tower card represents Scorpio and Aries, or you could have those in your chart. Nine of Cups here. I'm hearing "Drunken Love" by Beyonce in my head right now. This person could have a drinking problem, or like you do. Okay, or maybe like every time you guys get together, it's pleasure, it's lust. Three of Wands, yeah. You were trying to move forward from something. Four of Cups, and it literally retrograded back. It came back around. Three of Coins, through friends or something like that. You could have gone to like an event and like your friends invited this person, or your friend group ran into them here. You guys might work together as well. Could be a Taurus or a Libra. This person could be like a baby mama, baby daddy as well, with the Empress showing up here. Cycles. The Fool card could be dealing with an Aries or an Aquarius. And then the Knight of Coins. Yes. I literally am hearing just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. Okay, some of you guys need to just keep swimming. The ocean is way too big for you to be playing in a little tiny bowl. All right, the Hermit card. You could be dealing with a Virgo, you could be dealing with a Pisces. Page of Swords here in the reverse. It's like you're kind of in denial of like who this person is, if I'm being real. So you might want to look into projected like love, what's it called? I forget the exact terminology of it, so I do apologize. But it's basically, it's like projected romanticization, something like that. Okay. I'm pretty sure you can find it in a book, you can find it on YouTube, something of that sort. Basically, what that is, what I'm trying to say here is like, it's kind of like where you project like all the good qualities and you romanticize all the good qualities about the person here, but your refusal to see like the red flags. It's kind of a distinguished or a nuanced form of like Stockholm syndrome, where we start to like side with our abuser and we don't see the abuse. Limerence is another great way of saying it, Leslie. Yes, thank you for adding that. Yeah, that's another great way. It's just not genuine love that's going to allow you to be your full self, unfortunately. And you are in a cycle with this person, and this is a retrograded cycle, possibly with a water sign. Okay, you could be communicating with them right now, feeling like, oh, there's going to be growth. You guys could be talking about that right now, where it's like, oh yeah, we're going to grow together, we're going to change together. But it is fated for you guys to be karmic towards each other. Something's gonna end, something's gonna begin. You guys are in a cycle. You could be beginning a brand new cycle together, or talking about beginning a brand new cycle, and you need to think before you act. You need to listen to your intuition. I feel like everything is screaming like, don't do it, and you're like, but I did it. You know, you're like Queen of Coins in the reverse. Yeah, you're like, oh man, I already did it. Okay, like I couldn't help myself. Page of Wands in the reverse here. But they are, if you haven't, Spirit's saying like, stop sacrificing yourself. Magician in the reverse, like recognize the manipulation in this cycle. Ace of Wands, this is not an opportunity. It's more so an opportunity to choose what is right for you. I feel like if you were to, you'd be getting a lot of attention, and people would start seeing, you know, the real you and aligning to the authentic version of you. You'd also experience like a significant amount of success. So be mindful here of being bewitched by somebody's charm. Okay, someone else. They could also put you in a third party situation, or perhaps they did in the past. Yeah, health. I feel like it'll like deteriorate your health. So you guys could be dealing with an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius as well. Commitment in the reverse. Somebody with commitment issues could be coming up here. You tried giving this time, you're trying to be patient, but I don't know. Spirit's saying, yeah, Spirit's saying let go. okay? Make room for the new beginning on its way to you now. So again, those of you guys going on a date and stuff like that, that's wonderful. Those that are not dealing with anybody from your ex, however, that spread was not for you guys, okay? That's for those where their ex retrograded right back into their life and, you know, spun the block, all right? Let's go ahead and close this out. Again, you guys have karmic justice, balance, and restoration is coming here. We are sending you healing, so be open to receive. Again, remember that you are rich in initiation. Your spirituality is your wealth, okay? Your wealth is your spirituality, your faith, your path, your journey. Okay, you are meant to help somebody else this week, Earth Angel. Hi, Kitty. Hello. External energies are impacting you. Take a salt bath, cleanse your aura, whatever is necessary. I like to do hot bay, so I have a bunch of different types of hot bay, but these are just the two that I have on my desk right here. But yeah, hot bay is really great. I love using that to cleanse my aura, spiritual baths, etc. Braids, like that's a way, like everything that I do throughout the day is very intentional. So me braiding my hair, I'm braiding in protection, love, and guidance into my hair. You know, then I'll sit down and I'll listen to meditation music. I did that earlier with my wife. We did some hot bay. You know, before coming live hair, I say a prayer. I hit the sound healing bowls in the back, okay? Do a little sound healing. I hit myself with some products of mine, you know, that I saw on my website here. And then I go ahead and go forth and pull cards. So it's like everything is very intentional, even my cooking. All right, so make sure that you are cleansing yourself. You're being intentional throughout the day. Messages, please, for Scorpios. There we go. Opportunities are coming. Yeah, you've got big opportunities coming in by you standing in your power. Messages, please, for Scorpios. Be more transparent with others. Be your authentic self. This is an important person in your life. And this relationship is bad for you. Like, yeah, the person is important to you and your life because you're meant to learn a major karmic lesson from this individual, whoever is not meant to, like, go backwards. You are surrounded by support. You are being guided to take back control of your life. You also have you are a natural healer, top of the deck. You can spend your time more wisely, dream bigger, because what you want is already aligned. Don't forget to like this reading. You're a pure soul, good intentions. Like this reading, leave me a comment down below. I do appreciate it. If you want to book with me, FlavoredVivid.com. That's what I've got for you, Scorpios. I'll see you next week. Love you guys. Bye.